So far, Binky Johnson leads Norristown with 6, but Howard Flowers so far has been shut off. So part of the North Penn defensive strategy has really worked so far, holding one of the backcourtmen to no points, and that is what they came in with their intent to do. This is exactly what they were trying.
It's been a while since Norristown has been behind at the end of a quarter.
Mike Evans has come in for Jeff Thompson. Other than that, the teams remain the same as they played through the first period. Lee handling the ball outside. Flowers all over him. Heyer is back out. There goes the bounce pass into Cobb at the foul line. Back to Lee. Lee on the move. What a shot, Brian Lee. Louis Simmons had good defensive position, got the shot off and made it. There goes Mike Evans answering for Norristown. North Penn 20, Norristown 17 with 7 minutes and 27 seconds left. Shaw, there goes the pass to Lee. Lee has to track it down. Oh, almost threw up a basket as he was falling out of bounds.
We really would have been in trouble.
And there goes Shaw on the foul for North Penn with the attempted steal. Almost came off with it, but he fouled Binky Johnson. What a play by Brian Lee. He tried to track the ball down as it was going out of bounds, caught up to it as he was falling out, launched a shot, and it hit off the front of the rim and almost went in. Louis Simmons with the ball, controlling for Norristown. Looks for Johnson, doesn't find him. Ramsey on the move, turns with a jumper and makes it. North Penn bench wants a foul, giving the elbow, but no call. Goes the inbound pass to Cobb. Cobb will move it up court. Quick hands. There's the steal. Right back by Lee, who also has quick hands. Right back by Norristown. Simmons with it, or excuse me, Ramsey with a drive, no good. Looks for the rebound. Ball hit by Joey Heyer and hit off of Ramsey, and it will be the Knights ball underneath. Inbound pass to Spencer. Spencer back to Shaw. Shaw will control coming up court over to Lee. Lee finds Spencer. Spencer fakes in, forces the pass outside. Evans has Ramsey with the ball, and again, they don't want Ramsey driving. Finds Simmons, back to Ramsey. Foul on Cobb.
I'll tell you, Jim, North Penn has found the secret against the press, and that is you don't dribble against it, you pass against it. They're making up to 7 passes to bring that ball up court, and that's what you have to do against the press. You can't dribble against it.
Coach Heyer just signaled a timeout for North Penn. And I think one of the things we're seeing here too is both teams a tiny little bit out of control, and he realized that his team needed a timeout. The press was beginning to bother North Penn, but they have certainly hung tough so far with the Eagles, and this is not at all unexpected. As said earlier, North Penn has been up and down all year long, and they certainly have shown so far that they are capable of giving Norristown a good game.
Well, as we said at the start of the game, if Norristown has a slightly off night and North Penn has a better than average night, they could win this ball game. They're not a pushover team.
I would think that Coach Cresswell has to be pretty happy. You really needed a game like this. They've come off these blowouts, and an interesting statistic, and this is really amazing. Norristown is averaging 82 points a game this year. Their opponents are averaging 52 points a game. The margin of victory is 30. That's just phenomenal at this point in the season.
Oh, it certainly is. And as I say, all the teams they've been playing are not turkeys. They've played some really good teams.
Cresswell has to want these tough games. Going into the district, you need this kind of competition. So this is exactly what he wants. Ramsey misses the first shot, ready with a second. No good again. Both shots missing. Ball knocked out of bounds off of White.
I'm not sure I agree with that call, but not much you can do about it.
And here comes Richard Mayers in. And one of the things we've seen Mayers do is add some instant spark to this Norristown team in the past. Cresswell certainly hoping that this can happen again. There goes a battle for the ball. Coming out with it was Cobb. Finds Lee. Lee dribbling, spinning around the back. Simmons playing him all over the court. In the hands of Shaw. Shaw on the move. Around behind him, Flowers attempts to steal. Picks up Heyer on the switch. Back in the hands of Shaw. Shaw finds, looking for Cobb. Batted away by Johnson, and Simmons comes up with the ball. Over to Johnson. Oh, underneath, he was going for the lob pass, and the ball hit the rim. Simmons with the ball blocked by Spencer. Spencer looks for Lee on the drive. No good with a shot. Johnson coming out, and Spencer is caught with a reach-in foul. North Penn wanted this foul on Lee, but there was no foul on that play.
I'll tell you, Jim, this is some exciting basketball tonight. The fans who came out are seeing a pretty good game.
Great. That is the third foul on the night starter, Roger Spencer. But interestingly enough, the man coming in, Dan Broadway, is 6'7". So in that exchange, they gained 2 inches.
How many fouls did you say there was?
3 fouls.
3 fouls already.
Yeah. I'm not sure how deep the North Penn bench is. They have 2 people coming off who play a lot. And Broadway, in looking at box scores in the past, has done very well. So he's a capable sub coming into the game. Binky Johnson, 2 for 2. Here comes Jeff Thompson back in, and going out with Simmons, who gave them some nice minutes, particularly on defense. The Eagles have reclaimed the lead, 21-20, 5 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the first half. Here goes the inbound pass to Cobb. Cobb into Shaw's hands. Shaw with a dribble over to Lee, and Lee breaks the press. Here goes Broadway underneath. Thompson up high.
Thompson didn't like that. He thought he had all ball. It was hard to tell from here, but he sure didn't like that call.
That's 2 fouls on Jeff Thompson. He got up high. Must have caught him with a little bit of his hand or with part of his body. And Dan Broadway will go to the foul line with a chance to put the Knights back in the lead here in the first half. A very hotly contested game so far.
It looks like Norristown is still playing a man-to-man on defense, but Cresswell I think he's told the big men, don't stray too far from the basket.
Now Norristown definitely going with that man-to-man press, which they have used so effectively this year to build up their big point margins that they've got. Broadway with the first shot, ties the game, 21-21. Ready with the second. Up. Looks like he was holding a softball or something, Frank, in his hands there. 22-21, certainly is. Johnson over to Flowers. Flowers comes back to the top of the circle, looks for Evans. Evans back to Johnson on the drive. Ball blocked away by Broadway, and it's Shaw breaking up. Mayer's on him, around the back pass, and Lee lost the ball. Nice play by Shaw, but just went out of Lee's hands. And there's a time where the Eagles escaped almost a certain 2-point. Flowers back over to Evans. Evans is open, but does not take the shot. And they're packing their zone back in, and Norristown's going to have to shoot from the outside. Thompson up, good. No sooner do I say that, and that is exactly what they have to do. And Thompson scores to put the Eagles back up by 1. Cobb for North Penn, spin move, looks for the jumper, doesn't have it, gives back to Shaw. Shaw surrounded by 2 Eagles, loses the ball to Mayer. Mayer's to Flowers on a fast break. Lee coming down on him.
Nice layup by Flowers.
Flowers that time held up on his shot and gives the Eagles a 3-point lead, which I think is their biggest margin of the evening, Frank.
I think it is, Jim. And that was a tough shot that Flowers made. That just wasn't a simple layup.
There's Lee again with a dribble on the outside. Flowers misses the steal. Back to Shaw with a long shot, and he's got it for 3. And once again, we're tied, this time at 25, with 4 minutes left in the half. There's the jumper by Richard Mayers. And Frank, I think that's what the Eagles are going to have to do, that 12-foot jump shot.
But they're going to need it tonight.
And they're going to be open, they're going to have that shot.
Well, the last time on defense, North Penn, all 5 players were in the blue paint. It was as if they were saying to Norristown, you're going to have to take that outside shot because we're not going to give it to you underneath.
Yeah, and Norristown is capable of hitting that, and that's what they'll have to do. Higher that time, sort of ricocheted off a Shaw. Ball went out of bounds. He was there. There's Johnson with a jump shot from outside. It's good for the 2-pointer. Norristown, 29-25. Binky Johnson in the double figures with 10 points. There's the steal, and that's Thomas, who has just come in the game. Johnson with a fake, finds Evans, jump shot up, no good, strong. And there's Thomas going over the back on the rebound. Frank, I want to say something to our statistician here, Glenn. People at school, they ask me, well, how can you keep up with the figures so quickly? It's not because of anything I do. Glenn sitting next to me keeps me alert all of the time to what's going on, and without him, we would be struggling here. I tried to keep score the first game, and it was an impossible task. We're very lucky to have a capable young man with us here to help us out.
I'll tell you, Jim, I'll second that. It's nice just to be able to look over to somebody and say, how many fouls on this man, or how many points does that one have? And I'm amazed how fast he keeps up with it, especially in a game like tonight's game, where that ball is going up and down the court so fast, it's hard for me to just watch what's going on.
Coach Heyer takes another timeout for North Penn, and their strategy so far is sound. Each time when Norristown looks as though it's been making a move, he immediately calls a timeout to try to take momentum away and to rally his troops together. And it's worked. This is a very tough first half for Norristown so far. With 3 minutes and 19 seconds left, Eagles are hanging on to their 29-25 lead.
I might say, Jim, North Penn can come in here somewhat relaxed because they're the team that is expected to lose. You know, in a sense, they have nothing to lose. If they walk out losers, it's, well, everybody expected Norristown to roll over them. And when you come in, you know, you can be somewhat relaxed. You don't have the pressure on you that you have when you come into a game where it's a question of any team, either team winning the game. So that does take some pressure off of North Penn. Not to take anything away from them, though. They're playing one terrific ball game so far.
It's Cobb on the line. Shot is up. Good. As I said earlier, North Penn is a very good foul shooting team. Also into the lineup for North Penn is now number 25, 6'4" Larry Nelson. And the Knights continue that height. Their substitutes coming in are big. There's a missed foul shot. Mike Evans up strong on the boards for the rebound. Thomas on the move, over to Johnson on the drive, loses control. That ball might have been hit. Priest Ramsey gets it, makes a jump shot.
Ramsey is having a super night so far. Oh, a great
There's another
steal by
steal.
Evans, and he's fouled.
And this is what Norristown can do so often. They just explode. Here in the last about 10 seconds, Norristown has tacked on 4 points on the board, and Mike Evans is going to the foul line for one shot. And this is what teams against the Eagles, if they're going to stay with Norristown, have to try to prevent.
It's just incredible how fast they can change that score.
And there's the lead. Norristown is now up by 8, 34-26. And North Penn has played a really smart and good first half. There goes the long pass to Lee. Nice try by Lee. Try to control the ball and get it up. Flowers on the move, quickly over to Evans. Evans on the drive, underneath, makes the layup. And it's 36-26 Norristown. Mike Evans coming alive with 9 points. There goes Cobb, breaking, almost loses the ball. Ooh. And there was a play.
He caught a hand in the face. I hope he's not injured too badly.
Mike Evans was going for the steal and goes right over to talk to Lee. Very unintentional. Probably hit him in the face with his hand, and that's got to smart it, particularly if you get that in the eye. It can really hurt.
I hope he doesn't wear contact lenses or something
North Penn's
like
got
that.
his trainer going over to look at Lee. And this could be a serious injury for North Penn. Lee helps him bring the ball up. He's a good three-point shooter. He handles the ball very well, and he also has very quick hands on the defense. He's someone that you want in that lineup as much as possible.
And Jim, did you notice the way they're bringing the ball up? Players are running to planned positions. It's as if they practice some plays to bring the ball up. I was talking to you earlier about this style of bringing the ball up against the press. It's almost like a football team sending 3 players out for a pass. The players are running in patterns. The man with the ball knows where they're going. He throws the ball to the spot. The man who gets the ball immediately throws to another spot where he knows the player is going to be. And it's been somewhat effective against Norristown tonight. Plymouth Whitemarsh runs that really well, as they proved in one game against Norristown.
With the districts or the end of the league season coming up 1 week from tonight, you know, I look at this North Penn team, and here's another team that I think in the playoffs, they're going to go in with maybe a 13-8, a 13-9 record. Nothing that looks really impressive. And yet what we've seen from them tonight, they can be trouble for some teams. And there are going to be 3 or 4 teams this year in the playoffs that are going to be like this. I think there's no question that Norristown and Glen Mills and Plymouth Whitemarsh may stand at the head of the group. But you add Chester and Penwood and Ridley and North Penn and maybe Council Rock, and those top teams had better be careful. They have people waiting for them.
Jim, this is where other districts are in for a shock. They're going to get 3rd and 4th place teams coming out of District 1 thinking maybe they have a pushover, and they're not going to have a pushover. They're going to have some tough games. District 1 has a lot of tough competition this year.
Well, you remember we saw that last year, the same thing, when Glen Mills, Chester, us, and Penwood came out as the 4 teams in our district, along with the 5th and 6th. And that's a lot of trouble for teams. Lee is going over to the bench for a little bit, so obviously he's been bothered. But I suspect that they'll get him in very quickly. And the Norristown trainer is over also, taking a look at him. It's certainly good that they have these trainers on hand to help out just in case. You would hate to see somebody get seriously injured. On the line for North Penn is number 15, Chad Shaw. The Knights are trailing by 10 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the first period. And there's another foul shot missed. That's Thomas controlling the ball, moving up court for Norristown. And here again, Norristown has used 8 players so far. Ramsey on the move. And there's a foul. Nope, he's called for walking. That's a good call. In fact, Ramsey looked almost sheepish there. I think he knew he had walked, and he was just hoping. Best thing he could have done would be to throw the ball quickly and hope that the referee didn't call it.
That's what I'm talking about, Jim. If you saw that play, it was like the quarterback sending a man out for the pass.
North Penn on the long pass to Nelson. Left-handed shot missed. Down to Mayers. Mayers to Thomas. Smart move moving outside. He didn't have the shot. He comes outside, sets Flowers up. Flowers out to Johnson on the left. Johnson moving to the key, looks for Thomas. Thomas is open, left-hander, no good. Rebound, Flowers. Up with a jump shot, no good off the rim. Ramsey back, yes, using the board. And there's a case of Norristown's rebounding power. Priest Ramsey now with 9 points. Shaw moving up court. Converged on by, what, ball stolen. Thomas on the fast break. Good steal on the drive. It's up and good. And it's Norristown all of a sudden by 14 points. And in the last few minutes, Norristown has outscored the Knights 17-4. And what was a very tough, close game is all of a sudden a Norristown rout. Higher on the dribble at the top of the circle. Well outside to Cobb. Slowing it down. Cobb moving in. Looking for Shaw. Finds him. Shaw with a jump shot up. Good. There's a three-pointer. And Shaw can shoot. They've got to get their hands up with him. Over at the bench, we noticed Lee ready to come back in, and we're glad to see that. The young man was not hurt, and I'm glad to see him get back in. You just hate to see that at this time in the season. Flowers with a three-pointer up and answers Shaw's basket.
Jim, if Flowers is on with his three-pointer, North Penn is in deep trouble.
Now, I've said before this year, Frank, Howard Flowers is an interesting case. All league teams generally consist of just 5 players. Howard Flowers could be the man who is left out at that time, and I would hate to see that happen. I think he is deserving of being an all-league selection.
Oh, he certainly is, Jim. In fact, you know, it's tough to leave anybody in that Norristown first 5 or 6 out of all league mention.
You've got Grasty of Abington, and you have Lee of North Penn. And there goes the break, just as we mentioned his name. He scores. Simmons coming back quickly, not wasting any time. Norristown again in the transition game. Quickly over, Flowers to the foul line with a jumper. No good. Rebound tap, no good. Rebound controlled by number 51, Cobb. On the reverse move, on the dribble, finds Lee. Lee fakes the jumper. Simmons on him. There goes Johnson covering him, knocks the ball out of bounds. Well, North Penn inbounding to our left. Will be Cobb handling the ball. And again, we see some quick hands of Norristown. There's Lee with a long jumper. No good. And at the halftime, it's Norristown 43, North Penn 31. And North Penn has done a really commendable job, but that spurt by Norristown moved them out to a 12-point lead.
You know, Jim, if you couldn't watch the scoreboard, you would swear this was a tie game. Norristown seems to sneak points in there that you don't even notice. And all of a sudden they have this lead and you wonder where the points came from.
We will be back shortly with the statistics at halftime. Once again, the score, 43-31, favor of the Eagles of Norristown. All right, we're here at halftime for a very unique feature. We have with us a mother of one of the varsity players, Mrs. Helen Volrath. And she is probably one of the most loyal supporters of the Norristown Eagles team that we have. She has been to most, I think, all the away games, all the home games. And I thank you very much for coming on with us. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Number one, what do you think of this team so far this year? You've seen them in every game. What do you think their strong points are?
I think this is one of the best teams Norristown High has had in a number of years. They're a well-balanced team. They all seem to play together well as a team. And I'm hoping that they can go a long way this year.
Okay. As they move into the districts, well, will you be following the team?
I certainly will. I'll be on every bus trip from here to Hazleton.
What's it like to be a mother of one of the players, particularly this year?
It's very thrilling. This year is very thrilling. Every game is one of the players excelling more than the others. And when one's down, the other one picks the other guy up.
Okay. We thank you very much for coming on with us. We appreciate it, and we hope that we're going to be traveling along with you all the way out to states this year. I'm sure you want the same thing.
Here we come.
There we go. Now over to Glenn Martin with the statistics from the first half.
Okay, quickly running down the statistics for the first half. North Penn Knights, well-balanced scoring. Brian Lee with 8 points. Chad Shaw with 9 points on 3 three-pointers. Joe Heyer with 6 points. Justin Cole with 4 points. Free throw shooting 6 for 8. Team steals 3 steals. Turnovers 12 turnovers. For Norristown, Mike Evans with 9 points. Dana Johnson with 10. Howard Flowers with 5. Ramsey with 9. Thompson with 6. Turnovers 14. Steals 11. 1 for 3 from three-point land. Rebounding 21-9 in favor of Norristown. Nobody in any foul trouble. Please stay tuned for the second half of basketball.
All right, well, I guess